Good morning and happy Friday. It is just about time for the area's only live local talk and entertainment show, Virginia This Morning, to launch into action. So, drum roll, please. Let's hear it for the A-Team. I'm always happy to be here with you, Amy Lacey, and it's always good to be with you on a Friday. I'm Andrea Swipe-Murdoch. Good morning.
It is always fabulous to be here, part of the A-Team on this Friday. We have had a great week thus far, and we've certainly covered a myriad of information each week. We do it every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. right here on CBS 6. There are so many things that are going on in the Richmond calendar this weekend that you can enjoy. We previewed some of them here, so let's take another look at some of those now. The 21st Powhatan Festival of the Grape is on this weekend. It's tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and our very own Bill Bevins will be the MC. If you go say hi, snap some photos and send them in so that we can preview them or show them in an upcoming Everywhere You Are segment.
Cannot wait for that. Well, yesterday, Kristen Lures enjoyed being outside with the festival representative from the Armenian Food Festival that kicks off today at 11:30 a.m. Look at that.
Oh my goodness, tasty, tasty food. And Broadway in Richmond, Altria Theater, and the City of Richmond Parks and Rec Department are hosting the corniest fall festival ever tomorrow from 11 to 3 at Monroe Park. The winner of the best cornbread competition will be featured on Virginia This Morning in the near future. That will be a lot of fun.
You know, that's one thing. I didn't realize that I wanted to be a cornbread competition judge, but I might add that to my bucket list.
That would be a really good gig to have.
Sounds like joy to me. All right, well, here are a few highlights you'll see on our live show today. We enjoy partnerships with many great organizations, including the American Cancer Society. CBS 6 is proud to promote the annual Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk. We'll talk with Elizabeth Ballard, Senior Development Manager, along with our dear friends, CBS 6 anchor Reba Hollingsworth and Heather Marie Van Cleve, one of the organization's new ambassadors and breast cancer survivor. Our conversation coming up in less than 20 minutes.
It is such a tradition here in Richmond for so many teams to take part in that. And it's Friday, so the show wouldn't be complete without something to eat. Virginia-based caterer Andre Smith Sr. is here with a repurpose your leftovers kitchen hack, and then he will make a German beef roulade. It is on today's menu. Looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it. Running Toward the Fire, Following the Warrior Path is the new memoir from Nate Boaz, former United States Marine and combat veteran. We'll talk with him coming up on today's live show.
And of course, so much is going on this weekend, so we want to talk about the weather and what we can expect for that. CBS 6 meteorologist Mike Stone is here with us. He's in for Tom Patton. Hi, Mike. What's going on for the weekend?
Well, hello. I have a piece of news to share with you.
Ooh.
Greg McQuaid and I, my weekend morning cohort, we are actually two of the judges for that cornbread contest.
Best gig ever. Best gig ever.
So,
my goodness.
So then we've got to talk about this.
Our friend Cindy Creasy, who's in charge of Broadway in Richmond, she asked us to come. And you know what? I have no scruples. If you want to bribe me, I'll take bribes. That's fine.
I was going to ask you what your strategy is because, I mean, cornbread, I could eat it all day long. So
it's
how are you going to choose?
Everyone wins, right? When you eat cornbread.
That cornbread tastes good. This one tastes okay, but they gave me $20, so I think that one's going to be the winner. So we'll see.
Uh-oh.
But you know what? The weather is going to cooperate a lot this weekend. Today we have some sunshine outside right now. We'll see an increase in clouds today. So not a ton of sun the entire day today, but we will have a decent amount of sun this weekend. At the airport right now, temperature 66 degrees. Winds are out of the south at 3 miles an hour. Dew points in the low and mid 60s, so it still feels a little bit humid outside. Pollen counts still have moderate values of ragweed pollen, and that's pretty much going to hang with us through the upcoming weekend. Temperatures right now in the 60s to around 70 for much of the region currently. And we're watching these clouds here in southwestern Virginia. They are tracking to the northeast, and those will increase across the area today. There's a front to our north and west, and that may bring us a shower late today into tonight. But today, we'll go from partly to mostly cloudy skies as the day progresses. Highs between 75 and 80, a little bit humid, and just a very slight chance of a shower, a couple sprinkles, mostly northwest of Richmond later today. Front comes through tonight with a shower. Then this weekend, we'll see increasing amounts of sun tomorrow. May have a little bit of cloudiness around in the morning. And then Sunday is going to be mostly sunny, upper 70s and low 80s, which is actually a little bit above normal. But then we have a punch of cooler air coming in for next week. It comes in late Monday into Tuesday, so we're going to have highs upper 60s and low 70s and overnight lows in the 40s. In fact, we may get a few isolated upper 30s next Wednesday and Thursday morning. But for today, just a slight chance of a spotty shower sprinkle, mostly north and west. The best chance that's going to be late today. And here's that front coming through tonight with maybe a shower or two. It may have a sprinkle north, south and east of Richmond tomorrow morning, but then after that, skies will turn mostly sunny. High temperatures today between 75 and 80 degrees. Tonight will drop down into the upper 50s and low 60s, a little bit of fog possible. And tomorrow will be in the upper 70s and low 80s. And will be pretty similar to that on Sunday. I have a look at your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but we're going to take a quick 60-second break, and then Virginia This Morning will be right back.
Sunshine. We hope you have a fabulous Friday as we get one step closer to the first weekend in October. It's just after 9 o'clock and Virginia This Morning is underway. Thank you for spending a part of your day here with us. Andrea Swight-Murdaugh is here. I'm Amy Lacey. What a great Friday so far.
What a great Friday so far. We aim to have our finger on the pulse of what's hot and happening in and around Central Virginia and sometimes beyond. We've got a jam-packed show today, so we're going to get started.
Of course, CBS 6 is proud to be a part of the American Cancer Society's Making Strides campaign, and there's still time to sign up for the annual walk. Elizabeth Ballard, Reba Hollingsworth, and Heather Marie Van Cleef will extend an invitation to you. That's a little bit later on today's live show.
All right, former United States Marine turned author Nate Boaz is here to talk about the personal impact war had on him, straight from the pages of his new memoir, Running Toward Fire. We'll talk with him coming up in our second half hour.
Yum, yum. It's Friday. Chef and caterer Andre Smith Sr. is here to share a helpful kitchen hack and prepare German beef roll-it-on. I'd never heard of that until today, but I'm looking forward to see how it comes together.
That's right. We're going to leave with a few more skills than we had when we came in. I'm looking forward to it. Well, if you are looking forward to updating your floors in your home, the Floor Store has some great options. Recently, our Kristen Lures went to one of their new locations. Take a look.
This segment is sponsored by the Floor Store.
I'm Kristen Lures at the Floor Store on West Broad Street, the newest of 2 locations. I'm joined by Chris Evans, sales manager, and it is absolutely stunning in here. You have to stop by. Now, when you walk through the doors, it could be a little bit overwhelming, but there are so many different things to see. What can our viewers and customers expect when they walk through this beautiful renovated facility?
Well, and like you said, they might be a little overwhelmed, but we have it set up in a way that is super easy to navigate. We have the sales staff here who will get you in the right place for the right product that you need. We have larger displays like the vignettes here behind us. That's easy to navigate, and if you see a design that you like, we can also pick out the tile that you like and put it vertical, horizontal, diagonal, or however you may like.
And all of the displays are out, but someone like me who has a hard time picturing that in my home, could you walk us through some of the displays? You walk in, you see the shower vignettes as you had mentioned. What are we looking at here?
Here is our order-in statement center from Dow Tile, where we have it set up, and all of our in-stock stuff is behind us, which is our go-to just because of the way we buy in large quantities. That's going to be the best bang for your buck, whereas if we do need to go to special order stuff, we have it set up in different stages so we can still direct that customer to the right area.
And there's so many different flooring selections. I'm looking at carpet, I'm looking at LVP as we were talking about.
Carpet, we have tile, so the big sections that we have is tile, we have LVP, we have laminate, and then we have hardwood and engineered wood.
Exactly. So another thing that I'm so impressed with the Floor Store is that you really take customer service to the next level, just top notch. Why is that so important to you?
And from the owner down, it's a big family here. We look out for all of our customers as if they're our own. We do have them as lifetime customers, most of them. They see something, we're getting them the right product for the right situation. It's not just something that we like, it's something that they're gonna like and not regret having it once it's down, because once it's down, is down. So we want to help them in that longevity and getting something that they would like to have in for and enjoy for many years to come.
Almost something for everyone. It's just wonderful having that one-on-one experience, or like you said, letting the customer kind of browse themselves, make their own decisions. Very important as well. And I believe you have some important, exciting information to share with us.
Absolutely. For the second year in a row, we are proud to accept the trophy of the Flooring Store of Richmond once again. So a big honor as our number of stores out there, and with the owners and the staff that we have, everyone has taken pride in it, and we want to thank our customers for voting for us. We truly believe and are going to do whatever we can in our customer service to make sure that you get the flooring floor covering of your dreams.
And this is your newest location, so tell us this location here.
8711 West Broad Street, right in the heart of Richmond.
That's right, and you can get everything you need here.
Everything from the start to the end and the whole process all the way through.
It really is just a one-stop shop, isn't it?
It is, and we'd be glad to help.
All right, thank you, Chris, so much. If you need more information at the Floor Store, you can visit online at virginiathismorning.com.
So many beautiful options out there. Come on out and check out the new Floor Store location, 8711 West Broad Street, right here in Richmond. You can give the team a call at 804-447-6609. Visit thefloorstoreRVA.com and find them on Facebook.com/thefloorstoreRVA.
Are you feeling lucky today? It's time for a Virginia This Morning giveaway. And if you like spooky things, there will be no turning back when you enter into a night of fright at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Enjoy Halloween early.
Talk about a good time. Caller 6 right now to 342-5745 wins 4 tickets to Hallow Scream at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Again, that number, 342-5745. That's the number to dial. Good luck.
All right. Mike Stone, are you a fan of spooktacular things?
I actually went to that many years ago.
Yeah.
We rounded a corner and there was this poor security guard that was in like this little notch in the wall, and he scared me. I came around the corner. I was not expecting a lovely security guard to be there, so I apologized to the gentleman. But yeah, with the corner, I'm like, ha, well, you're not part of the display, and I apologize.
I once volunteered as someone who dressed up and scared people in a haunted house. It's a lot of fun to do that. I'm just gonna say.
Fun fact about me, I can do the haunted houses all day. I cannot watch scary movies.
I mean, it's not for everybody. You have that active imagination, and then every time you hear anything in the house, it's what you just saw on TV. So
There you go.
We'll send you through the haunted house, and then we'll throw you on a roller coaster. How about that?
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, we're going to have some pretty nice weather for the weekend. We're going to have some clouds around from time to time today, especially a little bit later on this afternoon. Highs today between about 75 and 80. There could be an isolated shower, a couple sprinkles, mostly north and west later today. 75 to 80 today will be in the upper 70s and low 80s with a partly to mostly sunny weekend. A strong cold front comes through on Monday. Then after that, highs will be in the upper 60s and low 70s, and overnight lows will be in the 40s. In fact, we may get a few upper 30s north and west Wednesday and Thursday mornings. I'll have another update for you on the weather on the CBS 6 News at noon. Virginia This Morning returns in just a couple minutes.
welcome back to our live Friday show. Sometimes we can forget we can be the best tour guides and ambassadors for our own hometowns. This weekend is Discover with Dave series. Dave Parker has spent almost 3 decades working in Norfolk. If you're planning to visit there, here's a list of some of his favorite spots.
This segment is sponsored by Rockingham Insurance.
Every weekday for over 18 years, I've gone to this building in downtown Norfolk. Before that, I worked in this building for almost 10. So I've spent a lot of time in Norfolk. Let's take a walk. I'll show you some of my favorites. First up, Nauticus, an interactive museum focusing on the maritime environment and the military. The Battleship Wisconsin, with a reminder you can spend the night here. There's a lot of history in Norfolk, including the MacArthur Memorial and the Moses Myers House. Next, the Chrysler Museum of Art. 50 galleries, more than 35,000 objects, and free admission. I love the Chrysler's Perry Glass Studio. It's where you can take classes and watch artisans while they work. The Virginia Zoo is a must visit. It's an oasis of conservation in the heart of Norfolk. And if your schedule allows, check out a Norfolk Tides game at one of the prettiest minor league parks in the country. Okay, enough with the walking. Let's eat. My wife and I love breakfast downtown at Stockpot. Then enjoy lunch at the Lizard Cafe. It's inside Prince Books. Unless you haven't been to Dumars, a Norfolk institution since 1934. There's inside seating, but to get the full experience, order from your car. My favorite is minced barbecue with slaw, a little hot sauce, a side of fries, and a fresh limeade. That makes for a great day. A popular spot for a before-dinner drink, or appetizers or dinner, is Todd Urick's Bistro. And since Norfolk's past and present centers around the water, try ending your day with the Sunset Cruise on the American Rover. The 3-masted topsail schooner will take you on a 2-hour cruise on the Elizabeth River. Bar service, live music, and the unique sights make this a go-to for locals and visitors. In Norfolk, I'm Dave Parker.
So many great suggestions from Dave. Have to check out some of those. For home, auto, and farm insurance, give Rockingham Insurance a call at 800-434-7736 or visit rockingham.insure to find a local agent. Andres, now over to you.
Our next guest is a combat veteran of the Iraq War and part of the Counterintelligence and Human Intelligence Office in the United States Marine Corps. He is now a vice president at Microsoft and has written his memoir, Running Toward Fire. We welcome Nate Boaz to Virginia this morning. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, this is so interesting. You have written a story that I hear is a very honest portrayal of what you've experienced and how it has helped you to grow and develop.
Yeah, what I would say is, I wrote this book initially for myself. I think writing is therapeutic, and I think everyone can benefit from writing, especially if you've experienced something traumatic in your life. But I published it with the hope to help others. And not just veterans. I think it's more than a military memoir. I think it goes beyond that in the sense that it helps all of us understand what our military veterans go through, but also the common experience that civilians go through, or anyone who's faced adversity in their life.
And you talk a bit about the impact of war on your soul and spirit.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think I think we could all tap into a bit more of the warrior spirit, especially in the times that we're living in now. They seem to be a little bit more dangerous than what I've seen throughout my life, and I think what I try to convey in the book is it's not about being fearless, but it's about being able to face your fears.
And what are those key lessons that you hope someone will take away from the book, especially understanding that maybe not everyone can put eloquent words to what they've experienced if they've been in the military, and those who have had trials and tribulations may still be looking for the silver lining or what could come from it?
Yeah, it's a spoiler alert, but when I was a young man, both of my grandfathers served in World War II, and one of them, just before his passing, passed on a priceless inheritance to me, and he impressed upon me this notion of, son, I don't care what you do with your life as long as you do something to serve something bigger than yourself. And I think it's when you tap into that, or you love something more than yourself, that you're able to really show courage and face adversity.
What a message, and something that has stuck with you and that you're passing along. Now, speaking of being part of something much bigger than you are, there are an entire community of veterans who may need support, may need encouragement, may need assistance in kind of reacclimating to civilian life. And the proceeds from this book go to help them do just that.
Absolutely, 100% of the proceeds, and we've raised tens of thousands of dollars already through the book sales, but we'd like to do more. Go to benefit a veteran nonprofit, a 501c3 patrol base, Abate. There's a physical 60-acre patrol base in Thompson Falls, Montana, but we have chapters all over the U.S. and it's radically inclusive. It's open to anyone who's raised their hand and swore the oath to serve in our military. And sadly, the one thing I'd impress upon is that there is a mental health crisis, not just in our military, but in the U.S. And I think we need to be doing more to proactively help our veterans as they transition back, but also as they continue to try to serve our country in such a dangerous and uncertain time.
Absolutely, and there's so much that veterans can do to benefit our communities. You have gone on to do some incredible things in your professional career, and much of that based on your ability to take those lessons and translate them into what is next.
Yeah, I think the thing that the military experience impressed upon me is that you can really have that warrior spirit whether you're wearing the uniform or not. And I think everyone, civilians, friends of the military, people who have served, can all benefit from having that warrior spirit. And answering the question, do you want to have a life of success as defined by the business and commercial world, or do you want to have a life of significance where you make an impact in other people's lives and you help raise others up? And so that's what the military sort of instilled in me, and I'm hoping our veterans are bringing back to their communities.
Beautifully said. Really fast, where can we find the book?
You can find the book on Amazon. We have hard copy, soft copy. We have an ebook. I'm going to be doing an audio version soon, and hopefully we get it translated into some languages. I just had some Ukrainian soldiers pick up the book, and hopefully we can provide it to others who are around the world who are trying to live that warrior spirit every day.
And impact a life of significance as we run toward fire. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We wish you the best as well as you launch the book in so many different formats, and we can't wait to read it. Thank you again for your service. Nate Boaz's new book, Running Toward Fire, is now available, and 100% of the profits from the book are going to support the veteran nonprofit Patrol Base Abate that helps veterans build resilience and renew their sense of purpose. For more information, visit our show website at virginiathismorning.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thank you for watching Virginia This Morning. For more than 3 decades, the American Cancer Society's annual Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk has united communities in the fight to help find a cure to end breast cancer.
CBS 6 is delighted to partner with this great cause. Yes. And here to talk about the event is Elizabeth Ballard, Senior Development Manager at the American Cancer Society, along with our dear friend and colleague Reba Hollingsworth and Heather Marie Van Cleve, one of their new ambassadors and breast cancer survivor. Good morning.
Good morning.
What a trio.
We look like a bouquet of flowers.
We do. And that is because there is so much that we have to do. And
Yes.
you all do this beautifully at the American Cancer Society and Making Strides and telling the story of women, encouraging early detection and making sure that October, our Breast Cancer Awareness Month, provides awareness for all, but the beauty in being able to tell the story of so many.
Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. It's amazing how many people out there come together and just really make this community a special event and just have the most fun with the best people. As I'm sitting next to 2 of the wonderful ambassadors that we have been blessed to have, and all the different groups come. So it's all of Richmond that really gets involved in this walk. Thousands of people will be down Monumentally Pink this year.
That's right. That's right.
And Reba, you for so many years now have given your voice to this event, and it's to remind folks out there why you got involved a few years back and why you continue to lend your services.
Well, I do a lot of the breast cancer awareness stories here at CBS 6. It really started with Buddy Check 6 when Stephanie Rochon, you know Stephanie, who was my best friend, she did Buddy Check. She started it here at the station. So I took on a lot of her stories and projects like Making Strides. So I kind of feel like it's kind of carrying the torch. A piece of Stephanie and her family comes out to that event as well. So it's very dear to my heart. And like Elizabeth said, it's a party. It's not a somber event at all. If you've been there, it is a party. We have so much fun because we are encouraging the survivors, the warriors, and the caregivers. So it's a great event.
And speaking of those stories that you've had the opportunity to tell, our great friend, Heather Marie Van Cleve, you have told your story in such an eloquent way, and now you are participating as an ambassador in this event. What does it mean to you this year, and what are you most excited about as a breast cancer survivor?
It's an honor just to do anything to be a voice out there, I think, in the community. And Reba shared my story so wonderfully, and it's been a wonderful experience to be able to be a part of the American Cancer Society Making Strides Walk. Last year, Elizabeth and I met, and just instantly, you know, you have that connection. And I said, what can I do to help? And she's like, well, a little bird told me you can sing, so would you want to sing the national anthem? And I'm like, oh no. So I did that, but it was wonderful to be able to be a part of that and be able to share a little bit about my story. And through that, people didn't know that I was writing a book as well. And that book was being able to help share the things that no one really talks about and the experience that I have. And everybody has their own experience, but when you're facing something that could potentially take your life, you want to have a voice to be able to make an impact and share with other people what they can hope for and keep that positive mindset, because your mind is really what makes the rest of your body heal. And your faith and your walk and what you do makes a difference in the world. So if something that you're struggling with can be turned to something good to help other people, I'm all for it.
Elizabeth, it is something that Reba said that, you know, this isn't a somber walk, and I've done it many, many times, and I've always loved seeing that there are groups of people, entire families, communities who come together. This is an annual event for them because it's something that they can do, that they feel in their hearts, and they can take it to the streets and show it, and that's just such a beautiful part of it.
It's my favorite part because I was my mother's caregiver, and my grandmother and my aunt, all of them had breast cancer, so it's deep in our family, and it's something that we have talked about forever. We take back our day. We make those memories as family members, and we take back our day because cancer takes so much away from people. And breast cancer is definitely one of those that just takes and takes and takes, and we're going to take it back on that day. So that day is a celebration and honor and memory and support of those still fighting through it. And we really make that an effort as the American Cancer Society to make sure that Making Strides is all about that memory, making memories and taking back their day and rolling behind the people that are still fighting as well by giving those funds and making sure that the mission is there, but having a blast while we're doing it.
Speaking of having a blast, I'm excited because there's so many things along the route to keep us engaged, to get us excited. What can we expect this year?
Well, we're going to have bands on the route because we're monumentally pink, so we're going to go up Franklin to Monument. Fun fact, 23 years ago when this one started here in Richmond, we were doing the route on Monument as well. So we're coming back to kind of our original roots there, and we're having amazing bands. We're having water stops, we're having snacks, we're having just this on cheerleaders. We have the Glen Allen cheerleaders, and it's so you're gonna have the pink pom-poms, the cheer team, the cheer route, greeters at all areas. So if you don't feel like you want to come to something or you're going to be alone, you are not alone. You will have a lot of people there rooting you on, and we will walk with you. So,
and it really is that sea of pink, which is it's that when you say taking back the day or taking back the life, that is a visual that really it's so powerful. Reba, Heather Marie, why would you encourage folks to come on out if they've not been a part of it before?
You know, like Elizabeth said, it's just, or maybe Heather said it as well, but it's just kind of, for one, it's just part of our community, and they have gone through so much as survivors, and this is just their way of just taking it back and just showing that we are here.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in a crowd of people, whether you're in a conversation with one-on-one somebody at the grocery store. You never know what you say that can help bless someone else. And so when you're able to have that opportunity, shine. I always tell people, shine your light. We all have one, so you've got to make sure that you shine bright.
Yep.
That's right.
And the three of you definitely
shine indeed.
You cannot miss us today.
It is so beautiful. Thank you all for coming in today. What a beautiful day, and we are so looking forward to it.
Yes.
You have a chance to make a difference and make make strides against breast cancer too. Lace up your sneakers and walking shoes and come on out. It is Saturday, October 19th at Monroe Park.
CBS 6 is proud to be a part of this annual walk. The mission is to support breast cancer survivors, warriors, caregivers, and to fund the critical research that will hopefully end breast cancer in our communities. CBS 6 anchor Reba Hollingsworth will MC the event again this year, and you can join CBS 6 community Team Reba. Scan the QR code on your screen to join Reba and the movement.
Virginia This Morning returns in less than 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. Who doesn't like a good hack that you can incorporate into your home kitchen?
Caterer and chef Andre Smith Sr. is here to first share his kitchen hack. Then he will regroup and make German beef roll-it-on. Hi, Chef. Thanks for coming in today.
It's great to be back. First, I'm going to start off, we usually don't have leftover steak. We were talking about that. But if you do have any leftover steak.
Or chicken.
Or shrimp.
Yeah.
Anything, any of your proteins, you can repurpose it, and what's best to repurpose it with a quesadilla.
Okay, I have a critical question here. What's the amount of time that we could utilize? Like sometimes I go in, I'm like, ooh, was this 3 days, 4 days ago? How quickly do we need to use it?
After 3 days, you definitely want to use it.
Okay.
It will go further than that, but 3 days is like my standard. Like if it's sitting there for 3 days, you got to do something.
It's still going to taste good at 3 days.
Yes.
Well, and this is good for those folks who you make a dish, but you don't want to eat that same dish 3 or 4 days out of the week.
Oh yeah. So it's just, putting the beef in there, the cheese in there. We're just going to fold this up.
And very generous with the cheese, I may add.
Very generous. We're going to put some seasonings in there, of course. Just going to pop that in.
And you already had that heated up.
Yes,
I think sometimes I make my quesadillas wrong because I don't really start until I'm putting it in there. So you had that heated up and ready to go.
Hot and ready to go. And then also, you had your fried chicken, your baked chicken, your yams, and you had your turkey and everything. So what is usually left over? You have those dinner rolls that are just sitting there.
Starting to get a little stale after that dinner for Thanksgiving, right?
Yes. So we're going to make some bread pudding with those.
That's a great idea.
That is a fabulous
definitely
idea.
The quesadilla, is just fast, simple, easy.
Just like that, we're all done. We've got a brand new meal without having to do all the preparation that it takes to start from scratch.
And the kids don't know that that's leftover protein.
They don't.
Because it's in a quesadilla, and kids seem to all love quesadillas.
Oh, yes.
They don't. And then, like, the dinner rolls also, they don't realize, like, it's just, this is leftovers. You don't have to tell them. We don't have to tell them.
That's right. We're making something brand new.
So you're just breaking up your leftover dinner rolls. You're just going to break those up.
And that's kind of fun, too, to get, them involved if you want to. Just pull it apart and,
definitely family
get your
time.
hands
Get them
in
all
it.
together. So, we got our heavy cream, our eggs, our brown sugar, our cinnamon. We're just going to mix those eggs up.
Very nice.
Now, is there
simple, too.
Is there a certain type of dinner roll that works best?
The the sweet rolls, if you're doing the sweet yeast rolls, are great because they're already sweet, of course. So you're just gonna mix that up. Go ahead, put your brown sugar. There's a few ingredients that you can add. I'm not gonna. That's another TV segment.
I was gonna say you're giving us some chef gems very quietly over there.
So we got vanilla extract.
But what you've taught us in just a short time is that we can make something new, but it doesn't mean you have to go bland. You add some seasoning, add some sweetness.
Quick and easy.
And you can completely change that flavor of it just with a few simple ingredients. So leftovers.
And everyone's running around, the kids are playing, and you're in here making a masterpiece.
And that came together so quickly with just eggs and the brown sugar, some spices, the cream, and that stale bread that you didn't know what to do with in the first place.
So this is just gets mixed up. You want to let this sit for about 30 minutes. Let it soak up.
Very
Get all that hydrated.
And just like that, one
Just
pan.
like that. Then with some TV magic, I'm gonna knock on this. Someone's in there.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
There's your bread pudding.
And I love how you cut it up like that and you made it into like the finger food.
Yes.
Now we're gonna put this in our oven for how long and on what temperature?
That's a different TV segment. But, that's a
He's
great
not giving us all the tips, but in some way, shape, or form, we'll
Yes.
get a really nice bread pudding that'll come right out. You've made this new in minutes flat.
Yes.
Really.
And think, you know, we're in October, so adding some pumpkin to that, you know, you can have a pumpkin bread pudding, you can have a chocolate chip bread pudding.
Yeah.
So you can mix and mingle with your bread pudding.
With really whatever you have around the house
Yes.
too. You're getting rid of leftovers and maybe clearing out the pantry a little bit
yes.
too if you've had a few extra ingredients
Oh,
for
yes.
something that you just recently
yes.
baked.
Getting creative.
Love
yes.
it.
Well, thank you, Chef. This is fantastic. You've given us so many great ideas. And now I'm thinking I'm going to need a quesadilla sometime today.
Yeah, maybe some bread pudding.
That's right. Chef Andre Smith Sr. is going to hang out with us and reset for his main course, German beef rouladen.
For more information on Andre's catering services, be sure to check out our show website later today at virginiathismorning.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back here in the kitchen.
Welcome back. Just before the break, chef and caterer Andre Smith Sr. shared his kitchen hack for repurposing leftovers. Now his German beef rouladen is on the menu, so let's jump right in.
What is going on with this? We were talking, I think I've mispronounced it a few times today because I had not heard of this dish before. Chef, please tell us what it is.
So this is a traditional German dish. Of course, you know, we have all of our Oktoberfest going on. So I had to include that with this. Of course, you can see here, it's just a great braised beef dish that's very hearty and just comfort foods. So, yes. So over here, we have a top round sliced thin.
Very thin.
This is great because I love playing with food. So,
well, you're in the perfect industry then.
Yeah, so you start with your thinly sliced top round, and we have, you know, German foods, you know, you have your mustards.
Yeah.
You have to have your mustards. So you got your whole grain mustards.
I see those
which I'm
seeds there.
definitely-
I always love that so much.
Always a crowd fave. So I'm just smearing that mustard on there. And then pickles. Pickles.
Pickles.
Yes. Pickles.
And those
So-
will be cooked then, correct?
Yes, we're actually
Wow.
going to cook those in this, but first I'm going to start with a couple slices of bacon, because who doesn't like bacon, you know?
That's right. Now, when we talk about the pickles, what kind of pickle?
Yeah.
Is there lots of different
So
types?
this is a dill pickle. I don't want any sweet pickles in there. You don't want any sweet pickles. You don't want sweetness in this dish, so we're keeping it hearty. We don't want any sweet flavors with this beef. So I have the bacon down.
And I think that those kinds of pickles too would go great with the mustard.
Yes.
They just
Oh, yes.
pair
Oh,
very
yes.
well.
Oh, yes. And you could also pour some beer in there, you know, always with German dishes.
Yeah, it's
you're gonna have-
Always
Oktoberfest,
appropriate.
right?
Yes. All right, so I have some thinly sliced onions here. And the rouladen, of course, you can tell by the way it's said, it's a roll up. So you're
Okay.
gonna roll this up. I'm just pinching the ends up. Then I'm gonna roll this.
So pinching the ends is going to help us keep everything
It's gonna keep it
in.
together, but for me, I love when everything falls out because, you know, it just fills the plate. It just
Yeah.
fills the plate when it comes out. And I'm a guy, so I'm kind of messy with it.
So we're just
Yes, so we're
simply
just
rolling it all
just
up.
rolling it up.
And
We're
we've got a
rolling it up.
nice big roll there.
Yes. So I have these skewers here.
I was going to ask how you keep it together.
That's what my wife asks me every time.
But we're hiding it as well, because I was going to say
Yeah.
I didn't see any skewers in here,
Yes.
but you've almost threaded it through
Yep.
the bottom.
Oh yeah. So, and then I have my all-purpose seasoning here.
And I expect that is a secret, the all-purpose. Maybe
Secret that's coming out soon.
maybe some black pepper in there.
Some hints.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to put that down.
Now we've got this is simmering nicely.
Yes.
Our pan is on kind of a medium high.
Yes, and it's going to get cranked up to a very high. You want a very high heat because you really want to sear each side of these rouladen. You want to get a nice crust to them.
And then it is staying together as you turn it because of that pick that you put in there.
And if you don't hear that sizzle, you're not searing. You got.
So we need to turn it up a notch if we're not hearing that.
Gotta hear that sizzle. So right there, we're just gonna get a crust all over. Once we get that crust, I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling those out. I'm gonna saute some more onions. I'm gonna throw some carrots in there. So let me get a few more onions going.
So we're throwing the onion in with the dish?
We're not. We're gonna
After we take it out.
Yes, we're gonna take those beef rouladens out, and then we're gonna pop some onions and some carrots in there.
Okay.
And we're gonna saute those. I'm gonna deglaze the pan with some red wine, and we're gonna make our pan sauce in there. Yep.
So this is a great tip that you can start off really a one-pan dish.
Yes.
We're going to pull our meats out and still utilize the rest of the goodness that's in the pan.
Oh yeah, always keep that goodness in that pan. All your flavors stay in that pan, so you want to always protect that. All your flavors, you want to keep them in there.
And less cleanup at the end, which is always good.
Oh yes.
Now, I know we had such a thin slice here. Are we aiming for like a medium on the...
So we're aiming, kind of like a medium, because once we throw it in the sauce, we're going to braise that. Me, for TV purposes and things like that, and for my purposes, I love using ribeye steak because that's going to cut down the time. It's going to be tender already. So when I do put it in the sauce, you're going to have a tender bite to the meat. But a traditional is the top round.
Okay.
And for someone who isn't a red meat eater, could you make a dish like this with a pounded chicken breast, for instance, and roll it up like that? I think that would be really good too.
Yes. Oh yes. So I'm going to pop these out. Going to leave that one in there.
And you're so right. It makes it much easier to maneuver them with that little skewer in there.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So I'm going to put in our onions.
More sizzle there, which smells beautiful.
And a nice generous portion of onion, about a half of that onion.
We got half of that onion. We're going to throw in some carrots. I'm actually going to slide over because actually this one heats up really fast.
You've already
learned the stove well.
Tricks of our stove here.
All right, so so we're going to get that going. We're going to saute over here.
And utilizing again the juices from the beef.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So that's definitely going to heat up because I know that burner is really hot.
Now, when we've taken our meat out of the pan and we're waiting for all of this to happen, what's your best recommendation for keeping this warm so you don't have to reheat?
So it's definitely going to stay warm the whole way through because it is a stuffed product. So this is definitely a fast step that's going to happen. So when you're sauteing your carrots and things like that, you're putting your sauce, and this is going to be really hot. So in between, it's a 3-minute sit down before you're going to pop it right back in. So it's a very fast process. The onions, it's going to be a 5-minute saute at home. I'm going to, amplify it. I'm going to expedite it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take some flour. Going to dust that flour in there.
And that creates kind of like that gravy kind of a...
That's what it is.
The thickening agent.
That's what it's going to do. So I'm going to take that. We're going to turn this in here. And we definitely want to get all that fat. That fat in there. Let's get that going. Then I'm going to add our red wine. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Red wine.
And I've always been told by folks, don't necessarily buy the red cooking wine. If it's a red wine that you enjoy drinking, maybe use that one because you know you already like it.
Definitely, and I am not a wine drinker, so.
And this is beef stock?
This is beef stock, yes. And then that beef stock.
Very nice.
So we've added all of this together.
Yes. Yes. So we're gonna get a simmer on that. Once we get a simmer on that, I'm gonna add our tomato paste to that. I'm actually gonna put a lid on that.
Okay.
Amplify this. We're
And
gonna
let
get
it do
going.
work its
Yes.
magic.
Well, while that simmers, Chef Andre is not packing up just yet. We're going to take a quick break, and we hope to see you on the other side of it so we can get back to our rouladen.
Stay with us.
Thanks for joining us back from the commercial break. We are here with chef and caterer Andre Smith Sr. He shared both the kitchen hack and his recipe featuring German beef rouladen.
And before we went to break, we let that sizzle, 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 and then you've just been adding more flour and making that beautiful kind of a gravy.
Oh, yes. So we're just gonna smother that, and that just braises. If you're at home, it's gonna braise for at least an hour.
Okay.
So it's gonna
Wow.
take, yes.
So when
it's
we
really
asked about how do you keep the meat warm, it gets warm
It's
again once you put it in the sauce.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And you also added a little tomato paste in there,
did.
which is going to give it a little sweetness, but also a little texture.
Yes, that acidity is gonna hit it. But, you know, the rouladen, you know, definitely, like I say, is a traditional German dish.
And you have it here on the plate, a side dish, kind of that carrot, or the, excuse me, the cabbage. You know, what other kinds of things would you want to serve with this?
So you can do a German potato salad.
Okay.
Definitely a slaw mixture you can put with it. My residents, they love their fruit, so we definitely serve a lot of fruit. So yeah, the sky's the limit. You can actually stuff the rouladen with sausage also.
Wow,
So, yeah.
that's for another day.
That's right. Well, thank you to all of our guests today and to you for watching.
Our live show returns on Monday morning. 8:56 a.m. is the time. We hope to see you bright and early Monday morning. Until then, enjoy a safe and wonderful weekend. Thanks for being with us today. Wow, look at that. I think sausage is very cool.